The beast is stored on our custom-made storage facility.
How much of that movie do you think you could actually recite right now? 20%?
That's a great question. We should do that as a topic. I don't know how we would do it effectively, but yeah, like I don't know. It'd be interesting.
What I could do is I've always wanted to do this like just more of a quiz topic for you guys.
Yeah.
It's like prepare like a list of finish this quote or what movie
Sure.
from. I think
That's really good. That's a really good
fun for you
topic.
guys.
That'd be an awesome topic. Yeah,
Cool.
I like that one a lot.
All right, I'll work that up for the next
right.
episode. I also want to do a casting Zelda movie.
Oh yeah,
fun with that.
can't wait to get Steve Harvey in there as the voice of
Tingle.
Oh, Ganon? No, I was gonna say he's a Goron. Get him in there as a Goron. Yeah, he'd be a
Which
good
ones are
Goron
the
voice.
Gorons?
They look like
cabin-looking
Ninja Turtles. Yeah, they're my favorite. They're my favorite Zelda people.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You like them Gorons?
I do like the Gorons. Always
Like the
have.
Goron music?
Yeah. No, they're making good Goron music.
I'm liking the like Ritos. I'm liking them
Yeah.
in Breath of the Wild.
Oh, hey, we didn't see you come in. What's up, everybody? Welcome to your Kinda Funny AMA for March 2017.
What's that stand for, Greg?
Ask me anything.
Yeah.
It's Ask Us. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller. Greg's Miller.
Greg's Millers.
This,
I'm Greg's Miller's Nick's.
the pride of Long Island.
I don't think I've encountered
Nick.
a Goron yet in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah?
No.
No?
You probably have. There's one of them that runs around
Is there?
like a dumb shit.
Whoa, no, yeah,
Early
well, no,
in the
he's
game, he's
super.
running around.
Well, I don't know if I ever saw him super early.
Hold on, let's check that in Breath of the Wild and see what that looks like.
Have
What's
you ever
up,
been to Long
every-
Island?
Have I ever been to Long Island?
Yeah.
No.
I haven't either.
Me neither. Well, no, yeah, no,
Really?
we never made it. We never made it.
Don't know
You
what this
never
is.
really?
The closest we ever got was when we were doing that PlayStation thing. We were gonna go there, and Colin was gonna drag us out to Ragtime
right.
Pizza.
Yeah.
It just never happened. Yeah. This is your Kinda Funny, Ask Kinda Funny Anything thing. If you didn't know, I'm Greg. That's Nick. That's Tim. You don't need the whole rigmarole, of course. If you're not familiar with one of these, Ask Kinda Funny Anything, the idea is simple. Over at patreon.com/kindafunny. Did you like that? You saw me inhale and almost die there.
You almost died, but you didn't.
We're recording on Friday. This post on Saturday. It's been a long week. We're over on patreon.com/kindafunny. We used to have this tier where you'd come do a live Q&A with us. Not many people came because it's hard to get people together live.
hard to
so
come.
we switched it. It's hard to come. We switched it over to be Ask Kinda Funny Anything, which over at patreon.com/kindafunny, you can support us at the $15 above level. Post questions because I try every first of the month to post up there saying, hey, here's who's going to be on the AMA. Let's have a thing about it. Let's answer questions. Now, some of you watching this on the YouTube thing might say, $15 to ask a question, that's highway robbery. At which point I say, remember on Patreon, you get all the other perks. And this isn't me trying to sell you on it. This is just me expressing the fact that you get a lot more than just the ability to ask this question. You get the bonus episode every month. You get the early access to the other shows. You get entered to win all the prizes over on Twitch whenever we give stuff away automatically. You don't have to be there.
Which is every day.
Yep. You get it. How are you guys?
Great.
Yeah?
Good, man. A little tired. It's Friday.
I'm tired.
We're recording this on Friday. We've got a few more things to record today.
The thing about it is that yesterday totally snuck up on me. Yeah. Like I knew it was going to be a long day, but I did the thing where we're in a stream. Kevin and I are streaming Zelda in the morning, and then Kevin had to do work, and so then it was all right. I'm doing the stream by myself, and then it was I'm going to do the morning show, and then it was I'm going to barbecue all the food, and then it was we have a guest to do show, then it was we're going to go see Power Rangers, then we're going to do and it was like fuck it, like
We did a lot.
When I got home at 11:45, I was like I've been going nonstop, and I feel fucking tired.
Yeah.
So now I'm in a deficit today. Today's been pretty great.
What's your plan for tonight?
No, fuck nothing.
Zelda.
You kidding me? I don't even know if I'll have that in me.
Really?
It might be a movie night. And that's not me usually.
There you
That's
go.
gonna sit. That means I'm exhausted if I'm just gonna watch something and chill out.
Pachi's and movie night.
Yeah, well, I had pizza today.
that's a good point.
Goat Hill. We're over on the exclusive Game Over Greggy show. You'll find out more about that coming up. Let's jump into it.
Let's do it.
Tyler Drummond is first up. I'm just going in the order they were posted. There's one that I will skip to, the second comment, and then a response comment too. Tyler Drummond says, "Who is someone who inspires each of you to be better in and out of work, and why?" Ooh. Good question, right?
Yes.
Well, it's funny that he said this in work. We just did a whole topic about him, but Anthony Carboni, in terms of in work, I mean, in the out of work too, as we talked about in that topic, Anthony Carboni's awesome and legit. But in terms of when I look at someone on camera and I'm like, fuck, he's got it. You know what I mean? Anthony Carboni's got it for sure. And then another broad answer would be The Rock. Again, I've said that before.
Yeah.
Like I think his Instagram account's great, and the fact that he's open about when times were tough for him and how he's applying this, and hey, there was these kids that I was leaving and I stopped and I took photos, and this Marine came over, and you know what I mean, like Rock's showing it every day, like on the small scale of any whatever the fuck this is, where it's like we're leaving packs and some guys like, can I get a photo? Yeah, I can make time for the photo. It'll be okay to be late to this thing. Yeah.
I have a very, very generic answer, but I stand by this. My girlfriend, Gia. I think in both ways, because I'm really happy that I found somebody that pushes me in an equal way that I push her, and we both kind of appreciate each other.
Yeah.
And are like trying to show off to each other constantly and
Sure.
like just make each other better, whether it's work or not work.
Yeah.
So it's nice. It's like, it's a weird, refreshing thing to be like, why am I so tired all the time? Why am I pushing myself so much? And
Sure.
be like, this is why.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good one. Thanks for making me look bad. I could have said Jen, but I didn't.
No, but I mean, I
could have said you guys.
It's the easy ass answer.
Whatever. Nick.
Outside, I'm inspired by a lot of people. There's guys like Kevin Smith, guys like Joe Rogan that are at the height of their profession, and I aspire to be like them, have that sort of mastery of their chosen professions.
How weird was it for you today to see Colin on Joe Rogan?
it?
Because like I like Joe Rogan, but I don't listen to the show, and you are like a religious Joe
It's
Rogan fan.
Very weird. Like I saw
Yeah.
Colin's tweet where he was like about to go on Joe Rogan, and it was the Elvis poster, like
Yeah.
when Elvis got arrested. And I was like, I know exactly what that is. I've watched
I know where that is in the studio.
so many of those. It's crazy. It's cool. It's actually really inspiring because it means like our worlds are not that far apart, which means that my goal of being on that level is closer than they're close, not hugely close, but like closer than I was 2 years ago.
Yeah,
Closer than I was
you're
5
in the
years ago.
same like dimension.
We're in the
as
same
that.
universe.
Yeah.
Now, not the same
You're
stratosphere.
over
not
on
the same
Pluto.
level.
He's
Yeah.
over on Earth, but you're there at least.
Yeah.
I mean, in other ways, so Joe Rogan was on the Rooster Teeth podcast before. We're going to be on the Rooster Teeth podcast.
Yeah,
soon.
no, it's not far. But see, Joe's just one of those guys that you look at and he's very, he's very self-evaluating. He's very
Sure.
self-critical. He's just one of those people that doesn't necessarily stick to his guns all the time. He's very malleable. He's very much like, let's try new things. Let's discover new things. And that's why I think his show is so good. Is because it's about him learning. And by proxy, you learn too when you listen. And I think that's really, really cool. He's very open to that. And then someone who's been inspiring me a lot lately, Cool Greg, at work. Cool Greg has been, he's been coming by every once in a while.
For the record, it was, if you watch the live shows and stuff, Kevin is in Tahoe this Friday.
Right.
So Cool Greg volunteered to come help run stuff and make sure nothing explodes while we're over here. So Cool Greg's off camera there, and he's been obviously popping by for barbecues and whatnot.
Yeah, so Cool Greg and I have hung out on a number of occasions now. But Cool Greg is one of those kids that he just is you're killing it, man. Every time we ask you to help with anything, you've been doing a great job. So we really appreciate that.
We really do. Couldn't do it without you.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Next question comes from Amy Gilroy.
Never heard of her.
What do ye guys want from Ireland? Chocolate, Tatoes? I'm making a list. She has an emoji that looks like it has a milk mustache, but it just might be laughing. I can't tell.
Amy, we want you to come over.
That's it.
Just you.
That's it.
When you come from when you come to Kinda Funny Live 3, June 3rd, Amy. I know you already booked your tickets. I know you don't have to bring us a goddamn thing. It's sweet that you do, but it's like we tell everybody, you don't need to give us anything. You don't need to send us anything. You coming to Kinda Funny Live 3, Amy, is gift enough. You watching this video is gift enough. Don't worry. If you can support and do other things, great. If you can't, no big deal.
As a wise man once said, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Yeah. So
That doesn't apply to
So
this.
get the fuck out, Amy Gills. Get here
No,
and get
your ass
out.
here. Get your
Bring
ass
me
here
one
and
of the
stay.
Sing Street signs. I want you to steal the sign.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
That's a crime.
actual Sing
That's a
Street.
crime. Sure.
Wait, is that
it a crime in Ireland?
Sing Street's the movie with the kid who wants to start a band to impress the girl, right? Is that out in like streaming and stuff?
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
That might be tonight's thing. That might be tonight.
Do it.
That might be tuck into
like
bed,
what?
put Portillo
I'll
there.
throw that out there. I'll throw, if you want to follow up Laugh, the Dave Chappelle comedy specials are online.
Yeah, I know
Yes.
that they're. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm looking. I need to get to them.
You
I
can
need
have
to
a
get
good
to
night
them.
on Netflix, man.
Yeah.
Sing Street's on Netflix.
Yeah. David, or no, I'm sorry. Davin Sade. I kept trying to add different
I thought you were
letters in
saying
there.
Sade.
It could be. Davin Sade. Says, at Nick, if you could design a butthole, what would it be and who would it be on? Would it have a flavor? Jesus, Davin.
What
That's a
the
lot.
fuck
Davin,
is wrong
fuck.
with people?
That's a lot. Jeez Louise. I would design one of those buttholes that are like almost flesh colored, so you can't really tell where it starts. And that way it's like mischievous. And then it would be on probably Tim Gettys, just so I would know that
Jesus.
Tim had a flesh colored butthole.
That's
I do
an
have a
interesting
butthole.
way to play it. That is an
You know,
interesting
To
way
be fair, I have not the slightest clue what color my butthole is.
I'm sure it's dark as the fucking night.
Yeah,
I'm sure
you think?
it's dirt dark. Yeah.
I don't think it's
all of our
I don't think
buttholes
it
are
would
dark.
be. I don't know.
Look at your butthole tonight. If you can see through all the hair.
Well, that's the thing is like there's some
There's a
obscuration
sarlacc there.
going
Yeah,
on.
I know.
Yeah.
You gotta spread it apart.
To steal a line from Tim Gettys, Colin, come back. Jason. Said, I was really Jason. Jason says, Tim,
Yes.
when will you do another video with Alfredo like your old ones? Nick, can you do a dance in this video? Greg, how does it feel not being the Nintendo champ anymore? Fuck you, Jason. God damn it.
I would love to do another video with Alfredo like our old ones. It's the problem is those things just take time, which I know is surprising because when you look at them, you're like, this.
It took a lot of time.
This could not.
What,
take
like
time.
the 33
I
signs
don't
that are
know
going to
whether
be
he's talking about our old like Simply Complex shit or the,
okay.
list videos. I love that stuff. That's the type of shit that I wish that we could do consistently. I'd love to be able to put one of of those out a week. Alfredo's going to be in shit all the time, but I think that it's kind of the whoever is with you, like you're the partner in crime situation with that stuff. I imagine it'll be a lot more stuff with Nick, and like, because back in the day it was like me and Alfredo, and then Nick would like be like the cameo guy.
Yeah.
I think now it'd be me and you. Alfredo's the cameo.
Yeah, Alfredo
guy.
can play.
You're still the same position where
Not
you're just
getting used, wondering what I did wrong to make you upset. Why I
Yeah.
get nothing.
Literally, you start
always.
every one of those.
Not
videos.
not in the beginning. All right, not in the beginning. It took me a long
yeah.
time to get Tim to warm up to me.
That's fair.
Want to put me in
I
something.
told this story a million times, but I'm going to tell it again. My most heartbreaking moment with Greg Miller, which was one of my first interactions with Greg Miller, was when I made Avengers Boy Band.
Yeah.
And I pulled him up and was like, hey, I want to show you this cool thing I did. And I show him and he watches it. No reaction the entire time. He stands up at the end. Yeah, it was cool. Wish I was in it. And just walks out. And I was like, oh, fuck. I really fucked up.
That's similar. That is a similar story to me of when Kevin talks about how when he asked me to officiate his marriage, and I was just like, no. And I don't recall that. I must have been having a bad day and
Did
a
you
million
really
different.
say no to
I mean, I said other things, but I think when everyone was like, nah, I don't think so. But it doesn't make any sense because he
Are
said
you doing it?
No, I don't know. Since then, he's you know how Kevin is.
Yeah.
He's throwing my face, and I'm like, dude, I will do it. I don't remember saying this.
Right.
Are you sure we weren't in passing? Are you sure I wasn't in the middle of something like I always am when you come in and tug on my sleeve and want something stupid from me?
I'll say this though: officiating someone's wedding, it's a little bit more work than it probably ought to be. So I don't blame you for being like, nah, I'm good.
No, I mean, I wonder if he's misinterpreting it because what it was is that I did Scott and Cindy's wedding last year. And then fans and best friends started hitting me up being like, hey, can you do mine? And I was like, I don't want to do that because I've known them so long and I know them so well.
Yeah.
And did I tell that story? And Kevin then was like, what about me? And I was like, no, I don't remember. I don't.
yeah.
But you're probably joking.
Probably.
I'm officiating a
But
wedding this year.
I think
Are you?
Paula can do
Yeah,
better.
James and Missy.
Oh,
I didn't know you're officiating. That's great.
Yeah, you did.
See? I don't know.
You knew that when I was applying because it's in Hawaii.
Oh, yeah. I came over and you were doing the thing. I think I knew you were doing it. I just didn't know if it was James and Missy or if it
Oh,
was
it's James and
Colonel or
No.
it's Gia.
I'm not doing that.
Are you gonna officiate Gia's marriage?
I don't know.
I don't think
Maybe
you
your
can marry
second
yourself.
one.
Oh, yeah, I was
I'll
gonna say I
figure
don't
it
think they're gonna be
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. But then all three of us will have officiated as the end of
It's
this
true.
year.
The
I've
Braves.
done two.
I have done two. That's right.
My favorite epilogue to you, because don't get me wrong, I love Chris and Jenny Ostertag.
Yeah,
You know that
was great.
I've known them for
Such a fun wedding.
such a great couple,
Such a
such a
fun
great
wedding.
people. But Chris Ostertag, you and me are from the same ilk. We're scumbags.
Yeah,
we
we
go
are.
out, we drink, we
yeah.
party, we do whatever. And Jenny would come do that, but maybe not like get at like she wasn't drinking her face off at Eddie Rickenbacker's like Chris and I were to the point where he would go out and vomit outside of the place and Poe would vomit in the girls' bathroom and me and Gadge would pet Mr. Higgins. My favorite
Higgins.
epilogue to you officiating their wedding.
There was a cat that was living in the bar.
You officiate their wedding, and then years, months, I don't know, later or whatever, it was when we'd started doing Kind of Funny. It might have just still been the Game Over Greggy show, but you said something on Twitter just obscene about buttholes or whatever. I don't even know what it was or whatever. And Jenny Ostertag responded, Nick, you officiated my wedding. And it was like this moment for her of the curtain being ripped back on who the real Nick Scarpino is.
Jenny Ostertag knows exactly who the real
Yeah.
Nick Scarpino
All right.
is. She's known for years.
All right.
They knew that. That's one of the things that I respect most about myself is that people accept me as I am. They accept me knowing fully well that I'm a perverted piece of shit. And that's just the way it goes. Well, I wouldn't call myself a piece of shit, but they maybe not a piece of shit. That might have been a little too. Nick, back off a little too hard.
Did you like how neither of us jumped on it?
You motherfuckers! No, you're a good guy.
What are you talking about?
You're like,
No.
yep.
He's nailing it. He's
Yes,
fucking checking
he
the
is.
boxes.
Finally
He goes
being
on
honest
the
with
list.
us.
All right, cool. Yeah.
All right. Stick with me. This next one's going to be a walk. We got a comment, a follow-up comment, and then a comment to his comment. Isaac Brewer says, why push the best friend agenda and not be there for Colin? He made a joke, and listening to you guys for 2 years now, you have all said much worse. So please tell me the differences. And why draw the line at Colin? It's apparently a dad joke that Greg and Tim took to heart. This world is too sensitive nowadays. I know you said it has nothing to do with the tweet, but it's apparently too close to call from tweet to his resignation. Please clear this up, because this stuff that happens this week, I don't believe your best friend agenda. This has been eating at me. I need to know in order to continue to support you guys. That was a week ago. Then Isaac Brewer follows up. I came to the conclusion I'm just going to delete my pledge. I know you're going to ignore my question anyway. Bye, fake best friends. Then Cassidy Coyote chimes in. Hearing the dudes discuss on the morning show and hearing Colin himself talk on the Rubin Report about how it all went down makes it crystal clear to me that there's nothing fake going on here. If you haven't checked out either of those streams videos, I highly recommend doing so. Best friends can disagree. And for me, and I'll take it if you don't mind, Cassidy hits the nail on the head there. The fact of the matter is, and this goes back to, I don't know how many of you saw it, I did a speech to open our PAX panel. And I wanted to get to the community quicker, not anything that was happening between me and Colin or anything to that effect. The thrust of it was simple, though, when it comes down to Colin and I. Colin said what he had to say. I said what I had to say. We talked about it, obviously, and we moved on. Like, that's the thing. I don't understand this line of friendship that some of the community has adopted of, like, that you have to have each other's back. You have to be in 100% agreement about different things. I think and this is what I talked about at the PAX panel. If this would have come up on a show in the same context, we're talking about Women's Day or whatever, and then Colin says this, I would be like, I don't know, I think that's kind of, that, what did I say in the letter? I thought that was in poor taste. Yeah, in poor taste, exactly what I said, right? I would have said that, we would have talked about it, and we would have moved on. And that's the thing. I can disagree with my friends. I disagree with you guys all the time, and you disagree with me all the time. I disagree with Poe all the time. We've had knockdown, drag out fights about things. And that's the big thing. That's what the PAX thing was for me, of talking about the fact that you're allowed to disagree, and it doesn't have to be the end of the world. To the point of this, where he's saying, like, I know you said it had nothing to do with the tweet, but apparently what I said at the PAX panel, and I think I've said before, is just the tweet. It was the most public example of us just being on two different pages, and that comes down on a multitude of different ways, which we talked about on the Kind of Funny morning show as well, on the Colin's final episode. And his GOG, he's coming in next Tuesday to film. It's just the fact that we were being pulled in two different directions. We want two different things out of the company, and I think that's why right now it's so awesome. Kind of Funny is doing Kind of Funny stuff, and Colin is doing Colin's Last Stand stuff. And both of us are super successful, and both of us are super happy for each other. I'm thrilled he was on Joe Rogan today. It's awesome that he's on Glenn Beck. Awesome. It's all these different things. At no point does this tweet thing come down for me on the side of, like, I can't believe, like, I've known him for 10 years. I think I'm allowed to disagree with him on something. But that's just what I have to say about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the last thing I want to add to that is a lot of people are like, oh, why are you guys being silent about this? Like, why aren't you telling us what's really happening or whatever? It's like, I want everyone to understand that, like, we are trying our best to not be silent. We're trying our best to put what is out there, that what's happening out there, right? And I think when it comes down to it, is everything we say gets taken 10,000 different ways.
That's a great point.
Which makes it complicated. So it's like, the reason that we're limiting what we're saying about it is, A, we've said everything. B, we don't want anything to be taken the wrong way, because that's the worst thing that could happen here, because we're trying to, like, make sure that everybody understands what's happening despite thinking that they don't believe what's happening. And I think that's where a disconnect happens, because when it comes to, like, my tweet, for example, that I've said multiple times now, like I explained, I was not saying that if you thought the joke was funny, that I don't want you to be a fan of us. That's not what I was saying at all. All I meant from that is, if you're somebody that is going to engage in the hate and, like, start calling everybody names and stuff, that's what I don't want any part of that. And that's it. That is simply it. And a big thing, the throwing Colin under the bus and all of that, I think where that comes from is such a weird, everyone has a different perspective of the tweet and what happened. Because from my perspective, people calling Colin sexist and misogynist or whatever, that is such a small thing that, like, I didn't even realize that was an issue. Because we know he's not sexist. We know he's not misogynist. We know all of that. So it's weird to see so many people hit us up now and be like, you should have came out and had a statement saying that you don't, like, think the joke's funny, but Colin's not a sexist. Like, that's a weird thing for me to even want to say, because it's so obvious.
Well, I mean, for me, that goes back to my thing, right? Is, like, I don't engage with trolls. If you're going to troll and be mean to me, then I'm just going to mute you and move on. And that's how it is on Gaff. That's how it is on Reddit. That's how it is on my Twitter. Like, I'm not going to waste my time. I think a great example is today in the Power Rangers video. I emailed you guys this morning. The top comment was, like, he was angry, obviously, but it was a respectful way of, like, hey, how are we going to ignore all these downvotes? Clearly, you guys need to say something. The silence is, and I responded back. I'm like, first off, thanks for being responsible. Of course, I'll respond to you then. But it's just like, there's nothing left to say. Like, we've said it all that we can. Like, the morning show was this. I put out my, I put out my tweet. He put out his tweet. I put out my tweet. We then addressed them on the morning show. We bring them back for a GOG. Like, It's clearly not the end of the world. It's okay to disagree, and it's okay to have different passions, and okay to go in different directions. And that's what we will continue to strive for here with Kind of Funny, in the way of like, this goes back, I think, so much to what we talk about with Kind of Funny, in the way of, hey, we want to be this best friend community. Hey, we all want to be respectful to each other. Blah. And so when the community starts getting crazy, we try to step in and stop it, but it's impossible. But it's also that thing of like, if Isaac still feels that, you know, we're not listening and we're hiding something, which we're not, but all these different things. If that's what you feel about it, I totally respect you going. That's okay again. We can do that. And that's where it gets so weird about this, is that we're still not trying to be IGN or McDonald's or Site Giant X, where we lose all this personality. You're allowed to come here and be like, man, without Colin, they are just doing goofy, dumb stuff, and Chad, the Piranha Plant, and blah, 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 blah. And like, I want to go get that historical stuff. So I'm going to take my money and go support Colin. More power to you. We applaud that. That's what is great about the world right now, is that you can go to all these different places. And if you want more of Danny O'Dwyer, you can go get more Danny O'Dwyer. If you want to do this, you can go with that. Like, we totally get that and respect that. It just doesn't, not everything needs to be a fight. And this is then doubling back to the Game Over Greggy show, where I'm talking about how how polarized America has become and all these different things. Like, I'm not trying to be all like, man, can't we all just get along? But it is what it is. Can't we all just get along? Can't we disagree on stuff like this? Like, why has this got to be the end of the world all the time?
Yep.
But shout out to everybody else who, and not that I'm attacking Isaac, shout out to so many of you, I should say, that have been super supportive, totally get that, are totally here. Like I said, Miss Coyote, I believe, earlier did that. So thank you. Yeah, this is all bittersweet, right? But as I've said from the jump, it's super bittersweet. It sucks, you know, to sit here and be like, man, like we on the morning show, we're like, man, like, I was envisioned 10 years from now as still being in Kind of Funny and having gone up and done all these different things, right? But like, that's not what Colin envisioned, and that's fine. Like, I'm not mad at him for that. I'm not mad at him for leaving Kind of Funny. I'm not mad, you know what I mean? Like, the way it's all been twisted and tangled, it's just fucked up. The Assassin, AK-47, writes in and says, what's up, you beautiful human beings? I have a proposal for Kind of Funny Live 3. Stick with me here. I want to have a promo battle with Greg on stage. I want Greg to call me out from the crowd and challenge me in a promo battle WWE style. Now, I already know what you're going to say, but hear me out. I'm actually an independent wrestler, and I have a pretty big following on YouTube, just like you guys. Tim knows what I'm talking about. He saw me post about it in the Kind of Funny Facebook group, or in the Facebook group. Now, Greg, I think you will appreciate this because you wrestled in your backyard as well. I'm part of the biggest backyard wrestling company on YouTube. Holy fucking shit. Trying not to brag. But I want to show that I'm credible. I started wrestling on indie shows, and I'm great on the mic. What do you say, Greg? Are you up to the challenge, or are you afraid of the Assassin AK-47? P.S. Please don't say this on air. God, oh, if you don't want to. Okay, good. I was like, fuck me. Because I'm not trying to promote, but I wanted to let you guys know my channel is called, KBW Wrestling. Well, first off, I want to go watch the biggest backyard wrestling company on YouTube, awesome, for sure. KBW Wrestling. I'm going to hold on.
Check that right now. Right now.
And then as far as our challenge, I have another community challenge that I've been kicking around that we haven't even talked about what day we're doing it or how we're doing it. So I will remember this. I'm not saying no, yes or no. Tim's getting a whole bunch of crash. Holy shit, yeah, 140,000 subs for your backyard wrestling. Are you guys like all Money in the Bank 3 highlights? Uh-oh. Cool, Greg. I think we found what we're doing. We fucking cancel all the shows. We're watching backyard wrestling.
Oh Lord, this is so backyard.
This looks a lot like BYWF back in the day. Oh, they got a trampoline. That's dangerous.
Oh man,
that's so dangerous.
Because you get your. Oh man, they are right on. I mean, I'm watching all this. Fuck yeah. You have a guy who wrestles in an orange suit? That's awesome.
Yes, you do.
That is awesome. Oh, what?
Oh, no.
Oh, wow. Yeah, nice. Oh, I like how he pulls his pants up right after he does the drop kick. Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God. All right, I'm watching all this. This is great. All right. Fuck, you should just put on a match. Kind of Funny Live 3.
Greg,
don't do that. Don't
every
do
time that happens, someone gets hurt. I just want you to know that.
Well, now, that's only when we do the fake video game wrestling. Who knows how it would really play out in real wrestling.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough for people who are young and agile.
RJ Davis says, hey guys, much love to you all. What is the weirdest thing people have asked you to sign? I'm coming to Kind of Funny Live 3. I will be the big guy in the yellow shirt. I'll be ready to party and test my Canadian drinking skills. Well, I appreciate this. A lot of things to call out there.
Weirdest.
The weirdest thing people have asked me to sign, bras.
Yeah, bras.
The first time
that's not the weirdest.
For me, it was when it happened at that RTX, no, the SGC meetup in Plainfield at that Buffalo Wild Wings. Yeah. A very nice girl. Remain nameless, even though I think she's been on the.
Pretty sure she's
been on the show, I think, or talked to us on the show before. Doesn't matter. But she came up and was like, "Hey, yeah, will you sign my bra?" And I was just like, "Did I hear you right? To sign your bra?" And I'm like, "Do you have it?" And she just lifted her shirt and I was like, "This is super weird and awkward and like you're doing the thing where you're like, I don't."
Because the pen, it kept moving, and I'm like, I have to just use this as a stabilizing hand. This is purely for science.
You're not wrong, and that's not a Nick joke. It is that thing of like, I remember being like, "Can I?" It's moving. She's like, "Oh yeah." I'm like, "This is super weird. This is not what I when I was in journalism school in Missouri. I did not think this is where this was going."
Yeah.
Signing abroad, Buffalo Wild Wings.
Again, not saying anything bad about her. If you want your boss on,
not
fantastic.
at all. No,
it's just we're goofy, awkward dipshits, and we're like, I don't know if I'm mature enough for this. I think I should be liking this, but I'm not. I don't understand how this works.
What's the weirdest
I'm
thing
at a lawsuit. There's been some shit.
Panties.
Like, there's been moments
You've
where
signed
people,
panties before, haven't you?
Oh, thongs, right?
Thongs.
Yeah,
Someone had to sign a bunch of thongs. Not on the person.
But here's my thing. It's that to me, that stuff's not weird. That's like, I mean, it is weird that we're doing it for sure. But that's not a weird thing to sign. Like, that's a normal thing that people sign. Right?
I mean, yes, real celebrities,
Okay,
yes.
but that's what I'm talking about. Like,
Okay.
if I don't think that's a weird thing. If you would be like, what do people sign? You'd
Bras,
be like,
yeah.
okay, cool, t-shirts,
Underwear,
hats,
sure,
pictures, bras, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that's
yeah.
in that echelon. For me, there's been random things where it's like a copy of Mighty Ducks 2 and like things like that I'm like,
sure.
What the fuck? There's like, you've never heard me talk about Mighty Ducks.
Right.
Why are you having me sign this?
Great movie, though.
It's things like that I'm like, this is a weird ass situation.
I'll give you that. Okay.
Like you signing Lair, that makes sense.
Yeah, I
right.
see what you're saying.
But you signing Crash Bandicoot,
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense. Or like even Crash kind of makes sense. You
PlayStation,
signing,
I know, yeah.
Like Halo,
Yeah, there you go.
yeah, that type of shit.
I got you. Okay. Donald Eckel says, I can't recall if you guys have talked about it before, but what was your worst date? If you have, what's your most interesting road trip experience? Not the destination, but the journey. Mine is a little long, but the shortened version is I went on a trip from Augusta, Georgia, I've been there, to Atlanta with a drunk guy who had a cast on one wrist. We picked up a hitchhiker part of the way that ended up partying a bit at a trailer in the middle of nowhere, Georgia. Huh.
So that's two questions.
Worst date, or you get to pick worst date or most interesting road trip experience. I don't think I've had terrible dates. I've talked about it before. The one time when I blew it at a date where we were waiting for the movie to begin, and we're seeing Old Brother, Where Art Thou?
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh, so
Great
what did
date
you
movie.
today?" And I was like, "Oh man, I did this, I did that, and I played a lot of NCAA football on PlayStation 2." She's like, "Oh yeah, I've never been able to get those games. They're too complicated." I'm like, "Oh," and then I proceeded to break down what every button did and every when you're on defense, this is what this is. You swap the, and I was like, and at the end I was like, what did I do that for? Why did I think I needed to explain a controller?
like, okay.
And I'm holding it while I'm like holding the virtual
Yeah.
buttons while I'm doing
Yeah.
it.
Well, you wanted to let her know how much you know about the game, and
Sure.
that's very important. I'm sure
And then
she
there was the
trashed
time, and then after we graduated high school, and then that night climbed into a RV that we had been putting back together as friends, and drove it down to Apalachicola, Florida, on the right there in the panhandle of Florida, not knowing what we're doing. The guy whose camper it was, who was driving, who just graduated too, was straight edge, so we couldn't drink or anything. And so we were just a bunch of moron kids driving down there, almost died multiple times.
Of course.
Poe always talks about it. When we were going after, because the guy who was driving it didn't want to let anybody else drive, and then he didn't want to take any breaks. He's plowing ahead, and he almost missed this exit, and so he jerks the wheel. And I had been sitting, like, if I'm sitting how I'm sitting right now, the driver's up there and the passenger's up there right now. So I'm sitting, like, looking at the wall of this RV, sitting at the kitchen table, and he jerked the wheel and went, and like everything rocked to the other side, and I just slammed my foot against the wall and grabbed the boombox. And like when we got there, Poe had been up in like the crow's nest, you know what I mean? When we got there, everyone was ghost white, and he came up and he's like, "Dude, like, you like ice in your veins." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "We almost died. Like when he jerked the wheel, he missed the thing. We were on two wheels at one point. We almost fell over the side of this on ramp and would have tumbled down, and everybody would have been dead." I was like, "Ah, I didn't know." I just grabbed the boombox.
You had your priorities straight on that one. Because if you don't have music, you don't have anything.
Might as well be dead.
Yeah, exactly.
My
Kill me
worst
now.
date, I think the only date I've ever been on that like didn't end well was there was this
right.
girl in college and we went to Rainforest Cafe.
Okay.
It wasn't that good. The food kind of sucks.
Well, yeah, the Rainforest Cafe.
The monkey was broken and didn't do his things right.
Bullshit.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't have a good story there.
Favorite road trip was when we all went down to the podcast with Kevin Smith, and then we all ended up almost dying on the way back because we hadn't slept for like 2 days. We also got to hang out with Dave Fenoy. That was fun.
Yeah.
And then worst date, I think I forgot the girl's name, but I don't think she knew we were on a date. And that became glaringly apparent to her when we ordered the appetizers. And I was like, oh, this is awkward because I'm kind of into you and you had no idea. I think it was like a networking thing for her. I was like, well.
And then you just crushed those appetizers.
I mean, I still ate. And I was like, we're at a Brazilian restaurant.
Oh, is it one of the ones where you flip the thing to get the unlimited steak?
No, it was something else. It was like just a different kind of restaurant, but
Sure,
it was
okay.
a terrible date.
I'm sorry. John.
I ended up marrying her. So
That's not true, right?
no, that's
John Burleson
D-Nice date was awesome.
says, this week made me sad. First, I thought it was all a gag brought on by previous week's events, but Colin never burst back onto the Kinda Funny morning show scene. I know those conversations must have been rough on everyone. Plus, to see your best friend up and leave what you had started with each other isn't easy. Sorry, boys. I've watched Greg's explanation from Monday several times now, and I know that no one was really at fault. It does boil down to a disagreement between roommates, and a lot of us have been there. Again, it's not even a disagreement, it's just not agreeing on things. Well, I guess that is a disagreement. But you know what I mean? That makes it, again, that makes it sound like everything's hunky-dory. I tweeted something. I don't like that tweet. Fuck you. Like, it was, you know what I mean? Like, that's not how this happened. A lot have been there. I want to help express to our younger best friends that part of being an adult is having calm conversations about issues and finding resolutions that are mutually beneficial. Regardless, I don't have any profound questions. Although I am excited for Fast 8 and several movies coming up. So I wanted to know what movies you guys are looking forward to at this point. Thanks, JB.
I mean, Fast 8's next.
Come on, son.
So now that Power Rangers is done,
Fuck.
we got Fast 8 coming in like 2 weeks.
Yeah. No,
Then we
something
got
else is happening. What else?
Guardians.
Guardians
And the
coming.
tickets go on sale today. I got, last night, Rich hit me up. He's like, hey, do you want to go with, can I go with you guys, basically?
Yeah.
So I'm refreshing this page
That was
now.
fun. You know, last time Rich came with us, though, was like the worst movie experience.
It won't be like that
because of
again.
Rich,
Suicide Squad.
but it just happened to be the worst thing possible.
Yeah, it wasn't Rich's fault, of course. Yeah, they're on sale now. We should buy these.
Yeah, I mean, there's that. There's, what else do we have? What do we have?
Spider-Man's
Wonder
in
Woman's coming.
July.
Oh, fucking Spider-Man.
When
What did
is
you
Wonder Woman?
July as well. June?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll double check that.
What's the next Star Wars? Is episode 8 this
December.
year? Yeah. I'm looking forward
We
to
got
that.
Star Wars Celebration coming up in 2 weeks.
June 2nd
We'll get the trailer.
We're going to get the trailer.
is Wonder Woman.
What?
Wonder Woman's the day before Kinda Funny
I mean,
Live
you can
3.
still see it. We're rehearsing a little bit that
No,
day.
I know. Well, I'm going to see it Thursday, of course. We have to get together a best friend showing. We got to pick. I'm assuming we've all sworn allegiance now to Century 20 or Century Downtown,
Century
right?
Night, hell yeah.
I mean, depending on what we're doing, if you're trying to get a lot of people, that's probably not.
Well, I mean, they got to book their own ticket. I'm not going to buy like 3,000 tickets
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah.
I can do all this stuff. You know what I mean? Come on now. I'm Greg
Yeah.
Miller. I can't be fucking shilling
Greg
on tickets.
fucking Miller.
You know what I mean? What do you want me to do here?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Should I buy the Guardians tickets now, you think? Or? I mean, I'm opening the
we can
pages.
do it after this.
It's very slow loading.
this.
Have you noticed this?
I think we
it's-
should try to get them today for sure.
Well,
but
for sure today. We don't want 3D, right?
don't want
Are we at
3D.
3D?
No,
We don't want Van Ness either. We don't want Metreon. We want this bitch right here.
That's Century.
that's
that's
Century-
Daily City. We
that's
don't want
Daily
that.
God damn it, I hate Daily City.
We want Century 9.
Century at Tanfran.
Nope.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, no, yeah.
Stanford.
Alamo Draft
It's
House.
not there. Fuck.
Alamo?
Fuck Alamo. Yeah. Is it 3D?
But hold on. Why? What's wrong with Century 20?
Is it reserved seats?
It could be.
If it's reserved seats, I'll do it. Hey, everybody, this is the AMA.
Is it XD? It's real 3D. I don't want
Here you go.
reserve
7 o'clock reserved seating.
It's the same.
Perfect. Yeah, boy.
Hey, red one.
Squaw.
Convict gaga. What
It's
day is this? When are we
The
doing?
kind of fun.
May 4th. Yeah, it checks out. Okay. All right. We can get up to 9. Should we just do 9?
Yeah.
Sure.
Because you figure it's 3 of us. I'll say Gia. Hope maybe Jen's in town that week.
Probably cool.
Cool Greg. Kevin. We're already up to
Maybe D.
Rich.
Yeah, there you go. We're just doing the 9. We're doing the 9.
Cool.
Hold on.
The
I'll
nine.
ask another question while I keep
Ask
doing
another
this. Sorry.
question
I'm
while I
sorry.
answer.
Everybody's enjoying this, right? This is what we do. Griffin D-pad. If you guys could go anywhere and do anything to make a video, what would you do? Also, last time I asked Greg about getting started in all of this, and now I've started writing and growing my YouTube channel, Griffin D-pad or Griffa D-pad. Was that how you say anything?
Griffy D-pad?
Griffy D-pad. Sorry for the shameless plug, but thanks for the inspiration. You're welcome
Shit
very
on
much.
doing stuff, man.
Could do
Where would we
anywhere
go
and anything.
Make a video. I don't know.
The moon.
Where would we go to make a video? I would
Yeah.
like to recreate the thong song starring Cisco with Cisco
Miami?
in Miami.
Okay.
Just recreate that
Thong
video.
song 2?
But recreate it with
been
modern day
overdue.
technology and see if we can make it better than the other one for like less than $200.
Yeah.
See if we can
I
just
think
do
that
it.
we probably could.
I think we could
Even
do
though that was one of the most expensive music videos of all time.
Yeah, but
Which blows my mind.
that's just because it was
seems
Cisco at
so
the time.
simple.
You got it? Yeah. Thanks.
So simple. Yeah, I don't know.
The kind of funny.
Honestly, just making videos outside of the studio is always fun.
That is
just
fun.
because we're used to it now. It's still fun making them in here, though.
Don't die. Don't die, old man.
Yeah. What about you, Greg?
Oh, if I could go anywhere and do anything to make see, I think it's that thing I was talking about a while back. That's what I want to do, and I think that's really plausible. So I'd prefer not to ask this question. So hopefully, I actually get the video done. The thing I want to do.
Greg has a
Otherwise,
cool
the moon.
idea.
Otherwise, the moon.
The moon would be dope.
Yeah,
Moon would be
the moon.
stupid.
What?
A video on the moon?
Yeah. I'm picking up the dirt.
The whole time they used to be rapping and flipping.
Did you see Superman 4? Because that was pretty cool on the moon. Did you already answer where you want to go? Where you want
Yeah,
to
I
go?
said Miami.
Oh, right. Yeah,
Miami. Ask us one more
Benino
question.
Abangatas. Keith A. Lewis. We've got all these movies being rebooted that shouldn't be. The Matrix? Seriously, Hollywood? What's a movie or franchise that hasn't been around for a while that you'd actually like to see rebooted? Maybe something that didn't get a fair shake due to technical limitations of its era.
I mean, Power Rangers was my answer for
was your answer.
the last decade, and they gave it to me. So I'm kind of good now.
I'm still waiting for them to make a really good Robotech movie. I wouldn't mind them doing something else in the Ghostbusters universe. Like, I know that sounds sacrilege, but I wouldn't mind them doing something like that.
In the universe?
Or just another Ghostbusters that's maybe not a reboot, but like, what? Oh, you did it again?
No, it's because it said it saved it, but I think it's, well, let me see if I can guess my security code on my, kind of funny card.
Sure.
My kind of funny card. It looks like I might have got it. No, did not get it.
You want me to just go get your card?
Yeah, it'd be easy.
Okay, that's easier. I'll be back.
Yeah, I mean, Ghostbusters, I don't know. I mean, no, we don't
I'm
need
good with
more
that.
Ghostbusters. What didn't get a fair shake?
I don't know, like reboot. What needs a reboot? I mean, they're doing it with Spider-Man, which is necessary, I guess.
Oh my God. Kevin, this is a video of Kevin all fucked up in the face. Show it to the camera.
Oh.
Well, that's why we shouldn't let him go. I knew he was going to hurt himself.
Ay,
Ay, ay, ay.
all right. What's the next question?
7, 8, 9. Next question. Cameron Kennedy, Nick, Tim, or Kevin, what is it you use to make all your video packages used in each of your shows?
If you're talking about the graphics and stuff, Nick makes them in Adobe After Effects.
Yeah, I usually make those in After Effects.
And then we use Premiere to edit it all together. So pretty much the Adobe suite. The what do they call it nowadays? CC, Creative Cloud.
Creative Cloud.
Like that's where shit's at. With Photoshop and Illustrator on the kind of image side, and then Premiere and After Effects on the motion graphics and video side.
Yeah. It's fun.
Adobe Audition is the audio editing thing. I don't really like it that much.
I haven't screwed with anything outside of the ones you just listed, but I know they've got a ton. They've got like a color correcting suite now. They've got a bunch of other cool stuff. Adobe really they went from being a little engine that could to being the industry standard within the last 10 years. It's very fascinating.
That's great.
And I blame Avid and Final Cut for just completely
Sucking.
dropping the ball. Avid for not getting into the prosumer market quick enough, and Final Cut for basically being the suite du jour and then just shitting the fucking bed.
Damn.
Well, because Apple has been pretty much blaringly honest about not wanting to support the high end professionals anymore. They just want to have shit for consumers, and that's cool. But I loved Final Cut back in the day.
I hated Final Cut, and I always have, and I'm so happy.
That's what IGN did use or still does
No,
use?
they use Avid.
They use Avid
Okay.
and Premiere now. A lot of Premiere.
Yeah.
They used to use Avid a lot because Avid had really good file sharing capabilities. You just have a shared hard drive we could save all the projects to, and then if you closed it, someone else could access it on their machine via fiber. That's really cool. But then after a certain point, you're like, you stopped working Avid. That sucks.
That point hits pretty quickly.
Next question comes from Anthony Camillo, hashtag peanut0423. He didn't put the hashtag there. I added it.
Oh, okay.
I don't have a question. I just want Tim to know that Takeover is 100 times better than Ether. Ether?
Ether.
Ether?
My brother's little eyes just fucking lit the fuck up.
Yeah?
Because he agrees as well. He's a big Takeover fan. Honestly, Takeover is a better song, but
What the fuck are you talking about? This is a song.
Jay-Z
These are
versus
so-
Nas.
Jay-Z versus Nas. We had a big debate on the morning show the other
I
day.
apologize.
I mean, but
apologize.
Ether's the thing is, I also agree. Like my brother's making really solid points that Jay-Z has lines in Takeover that are just they fucking body Nas. Like there's nothing Nas says that comes even close. But Ether as a industry standard of people being like, damn son, they fucking got you. Like that'll never be hit again. Ever. That's where we're at.
Do you agree with that?
I 100% vehemently agree.
I'm glad you're right there with him because
I'm more of a DMX fan than a Nas fan, but
Totally
Jay-Z's-
unrelated to the conversation.
Jay-Z's
But I mean,
great.
it needs to be said. Someone needs to remind
needs to
everybody
stand up for
that there is
DMX.
a big dog and his name's DMX.
Yeah.
in this, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm glad you're the man, brave enough to do it.
You're welcome. I'm the champ. Here's my question for you, Tim.
What?
Nas
Yeah.
and DMX,
Yeah.
are they even in the same stratosphere?
No.
Why was DMX so popular then? I don't know.
'Cause he was awesome.
He's a hit maker.
Yeah.
He's a single, just singles after singles after singles of just hits, and he was great as a cameo guy. It's like also DMX is here.
You're like, dope.
Like DMX made like movie soundtrack songs.
He was in so many Steven Seagal movies, though, right? Like, wasn't he in Cradle to the Grave?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the bomb.
That's what I'm saying. He's
Nas
good at
wasn't
making
in
movie
movies.
songs.
I'm just saying, like, on a scale of success, Nas seems like he's slipping.
No, I think Nas kind of did it. Nas did it.
Is he still making music?
Right.
I never see him or hear from him anymore.
Stop. He tried saying hip hop was dead, but it wasn't.
I know I can be what I want to be what I want to be if I work hard at it. That was a great song.
It was. Let's keep.
Mike Pedro says, "Hey dudes, hope you are doing well. I know you've previously mentioned the possibility of hosting a movie podcast with both Tim and Nick, but due to scheduling conflicts, it sounded like the idea got tossed to the side sometime in the early days of Kindafunny. Any thoughts on reviving that idea? Catch you next month, Mike."
Yeah, we talk about it. I mean, whenever we talk about making new shows, a movie podcast is always something that gets brought up. The problem is we do so many podcasts and even the morning show and even like so all of our content's essentially us just sitting here talking. Yeah. So whether it's a podcast or not, like we need to do some reformatting.
Yeah, I think I would love to do that. I would love to do that, and I think all of us would. But it's one of those things where it's like it's a pro and con of there's an opportunity cost of that. And as much as I'd love to talk about more movies, I think all of us still we want to do other stuff too. So we need to sit and have another Coco and be like, what's our big priority? Because we, like Tim mentioned earlier, I think we were on a call today with a friend, and he was like, we like to do these bigger productions too. We don't get a chance to do that because the podcasts take up a lot of time. And although they're fun, it would be nice to go out there and do a Tim Gettys style like music video again. It would be nice to do one of those like the comedy shorts that we used to do. But those take a lot of planning and a lot of execution, and sometimes they're hit or miss. So we just gotta we need to figure out what's going to happen with that.
Tyson Williams says, will we ever get a one-on-one with Tim and Kevin? Also, what are your guys' favorite Colin stories that we haven't heard, if any?
One-on-one with Tim and Kevin. We did one on a game. It was a Gamescast exclusive maybe 6 months ago. In terms of GOG, I want to do one soon that's me, Kevin, and my brother. I think that'll be fun. So it's not
that'd be really
one-on-one,
fun.
but
you guys are all brothers. You all grew up together.
So I think that'll be a good show. We'll do it at some point. Maybe
favorite Colin stories you haven't heard is hard to nail down because I think you've heard so many of them, and I think I like that as a GOG topic as well for his final show, like our favorite memories of being a thing or whatever.
Oh, okay, because I have a really funny one. But
Go for it.
For that.
Oh, no,
we were in Plano, Texas. We were at the Embassy Suites, right?
Yeah.
And I think we were driving, and I was singing. I don't know the lyrics to any songs, but I was singing that Bon Jovi song.
Yeah.
Was Wanted Dead or Alive? What was it?
No. It was the one.
Try and catch me, and everyone's like, Nick, those aren't the lyrics. So I'm singing this song, and I was like, fuck, what are the lyrics to that song?
It's my life. It's
you
now
never
or
catch
never.
me. Just try and catch me.
Yeah.
And Colin, without skipping a beat, goes, John, did you go back to the hotel last night and write the lyrics like I asked you? You didn't, did you?
That was a great one.
It was really good.
The story I always go back to is when him and I had, it was right a few months of us having moved in together for the first time, or that doesn't make any sense. Moved in together, and it was the first time after one of Damon's DJ sets. It was over at Neck of the Woods in the Richmond, and we live close to there, so we had an after party there, and we had all these people over there. And Colin was back in his room with a bunch of people. I was out front with a bunch of people, and Colin comes tearing out of his room, just screaming at the top of his lungs, "Greg! Greg!" And I turn around and go, "What?" And he goes, "The landlord called. We're being too loud." I'm like, "Why are you screaming?" We had to run around, get everybody to be quiet, but it's just his first reaction was to get it to be quiet or to come out and yell at me.
That makes sense.
That's so fun. The only one I got, and this is something we have talked about before, but I'll never forget it. It wasn't just a moment. It was a moment that happened at least 2 or 3 times a week at the old studio. But just whenever I would come in slightly earlier than I normally do, and he's just fucking killing it on that
railing
elliptical. And he would just be wearing like just a little like beat ass t-shirt, and then like I don't even know
those gray athletic shirts he always wore. Yeah.
And he would just be fucking running and like listening to the most eclectic.
Yeah.
Mix
it would go from
311
to hardcore rap to some 80s song
that
even was like
Tell Us Soul.
And he'd be like, hey. And I was like, good for you, man.
Yeah.
Crushing it.
Enrique says top 5 books or comic books that you want to see adapted to a movie or TV series.
Give it to us, Greg.
Shit. It's so many times this is the same thing where it comes down with games where I'm just like, oh, we don't have to keep doing it. You know what I mean? Let's not get it. I mean, I think obviously right now Super Sons is great and I'd love to see that. Okay. Some kind of movie or a TV show of Superman's son, Batman's son running around doing shit. I imagine at some point we're going to get something Saga related, right?
Yeah, I was going to say Saga would make
has
a
to be.
dope ass Netflix
or HBO show
series
In the
or
same-
an HBO show. Yeah,
In the same vein, Paper Girls would too because it's so much like Stranger
Yeah.
Things. That would be the knock. People are like,
gotta
oh, it's a
read Paper
comic.
Girls.
You gotta read Paper Girls. God, it's so
you'd
good.
like it. It's cool.
So good.
Okay.
It's real.
Is
cool.
it an ongoing trade or
It's
is it-
ongoing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It hasn't. ended.
There's this comic. It's not necessarily wouldn't make a good TV show. It probably wouldn't actually, based on how much CG is necessary. But I keep trying to pitch people on it.
Yeah.
It's called Animosity. I love it so much. It's from
Animosity.
some random off-brand comic book creator. Like it's not one of the main dudes. Like it's not even Dark Horse or whatever. But the idea of Animosity is that at some random point, this thing called the Wake happened, where all animals instantly had like the brain capacity of humans.
Oh.
And they just are like, fuck this, revenge time. And they like kill all the humans, like almost all the humans.
Damn.
And there's like an animilitary, and like there's all these like different factions.
Animosity. I get it now.
Yeah, Animosity.
There you
Yeah,
go.
and
Okay.
it's really cool and it's super dark, and I'm loving it so far. It's about 6 issues in.
That's some Animal
And
Farm shit right there, dude.
No, it's fucking great, and like there's all these different factions, and like the animals need to help each other because a lot of them don't have thumbs, so they can't do all the things that
can't
they
hold
want
the
to do.
phones.
Yeah,
Can't text.
it's pretty fucking dark, and they're trying to figure out what happened and what's causing it, and certain animals are like changing back. It's good.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
One that I want to throw out there that I ran into in Edmonton, went to Happy Harbor Comics. Whenever I'm at a comic shop, especially a new comic shop, I buy something because I always feel bad. I know how hard it is to run a comic shop. And picked up a collection there called Strong Female Protagonist. It is a web comic. This was the first volume. They had put them all together. I'm assuming there's more volumes now. You can go get it at strongfemaleprotagonist.com and just read it there. It's this really fascinating thing of this girl, the world of superpowers and supervillains and all this stuff. And she basically gave it up. She was like, similar to Mark Grayson, right? Like, being a superhero is bullshit. Like, I'm just punching things. Everyone looks to me for answers. I don't know how to balance a checkbook. How would I do this? You know what I mean? So she's going back. She went to college. She like left it all behind, revealed her identity, is now in college and stuff, and dealing with those interpersonal relationships and stuff. It'd be goofy. It'd be fun to see as a show.
That's awesome.
cool.
And to answer your question about movies, Snot Girl would be fantastic. I'm loving Snot Girl.
Really?
Yeah, man.
I read issue 1 and it didn't click and I didn't come back.
That's my thing. Issue 1, I was like, all right.
Yeah.
And then 2, I'm like, okay, cool. I like this a lot. And
Okay.
then from then on, I'm just like, it's been consistently good.
Please keep going.
I was just gonna say, like, what I want Edgar Wright directing it, I want it to be a spiritual successor to Scott Pilgrim,
Sure.
and let's fucking go.
Have you read Mortar Crush yet? Babtar's in the Batgirl whole thing? I haven't either. I subscribed immediately and they've just been stacking. I just wonder if you had any input. You got anything else or you want to move
I
on?
was gonna say, as far as books, I know they're making it into a movie now, which is unfortunate. But I think Dune. If you got the Game of Thrones crew to do Dune as an HBO series, that'd be fucking awesome.
Cool. Angel says, this question is for Nick. I'm currently attending UC Irvine. Zot, zot.
Zot.
What does that mean? Zot, zot?
Sorry, anteater.
Oh, sorry.
Anteaters goes
As
when they eat ants. It's not.
As a film major and a fellow anteater, I was wondering what your favorite and least favorite memories at UCI were. P.S. Wish you guys and Colin the best.
Favorite memories are when I actually joined the film department and realized that there was a bunch of like-minded people around me that I could be really good friends with and really enjoy my major and not hate college. Least favorite memories are when I wasn't in the film department. I was a computer science major and I fucking hated college. So yeah, right around my sophomore year, I became undeclared and then I changed my major over to film and I was so much fucking happier from that point on.
John BX32 says, 2 years ago, I saw a bunch of headlines about 4 guys leaving IGN to start a new company. I only kind of knew who Greg was. I listened to your Kevin Smith podcast, and I've been here ever since. You guys will always have my support. Thank you for everything. Heart. Any update on the merch situation? I really need that blue Kindafunny hoodie.
The update on the merch situation is, if you haven't heard, American Apparel went down, which means the stock of a lot of shirts and hoodies and all that stuff has been hard
Does that
to
mean my
get.
American Apparel hoodie is like worth twice as much as it used
Put
to?
it on eBay
Not
right now.
sure that's
Yeah,
how
boy.
that works,
Is that how it
but
works?
that's a shitty answer to give. So I've been working with Rooster Teeth. The new situation they have is if the item is sold out, there's a button you can click that says notify me when this is back. If you do that, it does more than just notify you when it's back. It notifies them that there's people that are trying to get it. So it's kind of like a pre-order situation.
Got it.
Because then once they hit a certain amount, they can go to other hoodie companies and be like, all right, cool,
Shit,
what do
really?
you
We
do
should
on
have.
this?
We should be saying this in the morning show. And shit.
I just figured this out
Okay.
like yesterday.
Okay.
So it's a new thing.
Start saying that. on Monday.
Brandon Lopez says, so Kevin got into records, which is awesome because I'm also a collector of vinyl. What's something that you've always wanted to collect or a hobby you've always wanted to get into, but time, money, space, etc. kept you from doing it? I've talked about it not in depth, and it's fucking what a dorky thing to say, but like Funko Pops, I would be all over Funko Pops if I lived in the Midwest still and could have walls and shelves and all this different stuff in there. Right now, I just click people from the House of L with the occasional Batgirl because I like Batgirl a lot. And then I have also agreed that I will make the exception that if I ever see again in the Flash TV one where his hood's off, that I'll buy that again. Because I used to see it before I was super into the Flash, but now I'm so into the goddamn Flash I can't stop it. You know what I mean? And Grant was in one of our videos, so I got to throw him some support.
There you go.
I've collected everything I ever wanted collected.
Yeah, I mean, I collect. I don't collect a lot of things. I'm not much of a collector. I collect like magazines, things like that. But if I had a lot of money, I would collect high-end watches. Probably, I love watches. But I mean, that's a hobby that you can easily go broke on very quickly after like one watch. So it's like I generally don't like. I ascribe to the notion of like don't try anything on you can't buy. So that's what I do with collecting as well. Like I don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
Mitch Krasson says, hey guys, I've been scouring the Kinda Funny forums where I think some fantastic discussion has been made with a mostly positive vibe on wanting support any way we can. Okay.
Wanting to support
any way I can. I just thought it would be interesting to talk about some of the ideas that have been posted there. A lot of the internet has been toxic lately, but it's really cool seeing some constructive conversations there. Thanks. Take this post with a grain of salt in case you have had something posted in the meantime before you see this comment / make the video. We've been on everything. We see everything.
Yeah, I think it's important to say that there is not a idea post or suggestion post that happens on the forums or on Reddit or, I mean, on Facebook it's a little hard to say because things go so quickly, but I try to go, I'm on the Facebook like multiple times every day. But when it comes to the forums or Reddit or all the other things where things stay a while, if you put an idea out there, I have seen it and I've made a note of it and I've thought about how it could fit into what Kinda Funny should be.
Or how it shouldn't, or why it wouldn't.
Or why it wouldn't work.
That's the other thing too. Not every idea you give, we're going to be 100%.
But it's all stuff that I'm like, all right, cool. I do want to give it a thought because like this is why this all works.
Yeah.
We got to give people what they want.
I want to give a follow. Nerd Cave kind of follows up on it too. Not directly. I hope I didn't miss the window to ask a question. First off, thank you all for being so strong through this trying time. I know it's been hard, not just on a professional level, but personal as well. You make a world of difference for a lot of people, and I want you to know that from the bottom of this best friend's heart, you guys are loved and appreciated. My question is, after all this has happened, does it make you want to spend more time communicating what you think the company should be? I know from personal experience, communication with others can make or break something, and I want to see this continue to be the best thing on the internet. Love, Zach Dykes, also known as the Nerd Cave. I think it's the same thing of...
I don't think it's possible to spend more time communicating what I think the company should be. Like that's literally our content.
Sure. But
100% of it.
I mean, I think one of the big takeaways, and what I've said to you guys privately, just because I know I've said it on streams too, of course, is just the fact that I think this was a great, not wake-up call, but a great reminder to the audience that even though we have the nice studio and the nice set and the nice everything else, we are still just a band of morons making content. Because that was the thing of people being like, well, what are you going to do with PS I Love You This? And I'm like, I don't fucking know. You know what I mean? Like, I really don't know. And that was the thing of like, I haven't tweeted it because I don't feel like getting more eggs yelling at me or whatever. But it is that thing of like, man, these last few weeks, it's been both empowering and totally deflating to be like, man, I wish an adult would come along and fix this, but it's just us. Yeah. We are the fucking adults. God damn it. We need to come up with solutions on what's going on. And so like, I think communicating that a bit more, right? And I think that's, we talk about year 2017, we want to be the year of the community, right? And how we hired Joey Noel to be the community manager. And then they're having people on different forums and discussion threads and everything else. They're just like, well, where is the community? What is the stance or community manager? And where are the guys and what's their stance in this? And it is that thing of like, this video helps obviously, because again, like, well, we just can't, there's nothing more for us to say about this situation. Nothing's changed for us, right? And so it is now moving on. And I think, expressing, on the morning show was asked of, what you think you'll be announcing new shows and a new host soon? No. I think we'll do that at Kinda Funny Live 3. That's what we love, having that press conference. We love giving you announcements. We love doing all that. For shows.
To be clear, I don't think we're going to be announcing a new host anytime soon.
Well,
if ever. I don't know. Who knows? And there is no plan to hire a new host. Like, that's not a thing that we're looking. It's like, it's going to have to happen eventually. But we are never going to hire a Colin replacement.
Nobody can.
But that's that is never going to be the
very
goal.
few people that can replace Colin.
Maybe
like who?
Teddy Roosevelt. Teddy Roosevelt could do it.
You think he could come? Teddy Roosevelt coming
No,
out, bro,
sadly.
with the bangers.
Well, that was
You
the
think he
thing,
knows all
you know.
those PlayStation numbers.
I don't want. I mean, well, obviously we got tons and tons of responses and text messages and DMs and everything else when all this happened. And one of them was, I thought, from an industry veteran who does stuff similar to us and who's been around a lot longer than we have. And he was just like, I know it sucks right now because it was like on the day. He's like, but really enjoy this time. Like, get guest hosts in, shake up the thing, figure out what you want it to be. And that's where we come back with PS I Love You XOXO, right? Of just like, it's like, yep, I could do that show. I could reformat the show. I could do it. But what if I don't do the show?
Yeah.
What if we take that Monday afternoon and do something new? And what if and like, what do I want to do? A farewell thing? Do I not want to come back? Do I want to come back and do it every day? I'm still trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
Because it was that thing of my initial reaction was, all right, when Colin was like, I think it's time, I'm going to go. I'm like, we're all like, okay, well, and we talk about that. But it was that I remember talking about it. I'm like, oh, I think we have to get rid of PS I Love You. And him being like, no, don't get rid of PS I Love You. And then when I said it publicly, so many people said the same thing. And for me, it was Colin and Greg leaving beyond going on visual is what I had a lens on. And so many people were like, well, it's not the same. You started PS I Love You. You started Beyond. This isn't like you're coming in and taking over someone's show. And I'm not, for the record, saying that's what Max and Marty and Brian did. I'm just saying that from the internet hate machine they got and still continue to get, which is not fucking cool. That's what people said about it. And so me staying and having another host or cycling in hosts, it wouldn't be the same visual or the same thing, even though, again, anybody who sits in that chair next to me on PS I Love You is going to get, it was better when Colin was on.
Yeah, no matter what.
Unless, of course, it's Chad.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Shuhei.
Oh, you looked for it. But
I don't know where Chad is.
Where's Chad?
Well, you guys used him. You were on the morning show today. I
shit.
didn't use Chad.
Cool, Greg. Did we give Chad away?
No, you didn't give away Chad. Nobody would give away Chad. Chad might be in the
gave
box
away
where the
a
other
Chad.
Chads come from. Where the other Chads came from. He might be the hanging Chad. Here it is.
There it is. Give it to me.
Give it to him. Ladies and gentlemen, this, bless you, has been your Kind of Funny AMA or Ask Kind of Funny Anything. Ooh. Video for the month of March 2017. Thank you so much for all of your support on patreon.com or youtube.com, or I guess those would be the two things you would have seen this on. Oh, Chad.
Chad Laggy.
So many people today on the streams I've been doing this week have been like, you guys got to get a Chad emote. I'm like, yeah, you got to do this. Yeah. Chad in the animated series, like, huh. They're like, Chad merch. And I'm like, you understand that Chad is a registered trademark copyrighted thing from
Good point.
Nintendo, right? Like,
Good point. I forgot
I don't know
about
if
that.
Nintendo's
I
going
was
to be
like-
chill with us.
Up
just
until
doing-
you said that, I was like, oh, that sounds great.
Yeah,
We should
yeah,
absolutely
yeah.
do that. You're right. I don't want to get sued by Nintendo.
We would have to revamp Chad in a way that Chad looks enough like Chad but doesn't. But then again, Nintendo could always just say, we have 8 hours of video
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
you used Chad and then made this knockoff Chad.
We have that AMA video where you literally talk about this plan to use it to make a knockoff Chad.
Reggie's watching this video like, damn, man.
God, they got us. Ladies and gentlemen, we love and appreciate you. Thank you for all your support this month and every day. It means the world to us. Continue to be best friends to each other. We'll continue to make content for you. Remember, if you support us over on patreon.com/kindafunny, you can expect a new AMA post going up the April 1st of the month. I'll put it out there, announce who it is. You leave your questions there, then we'll do the April video later on.
Got it.
Until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.